this session. As you have heard before, my name is Nick Tandy. This next 2 hours, hopefully even 1.5 hours if we go fast, will have consist of 5 main subsections. Initially, we'll hear from partners of SuSanA who had sessions at the World Water Week, and they'll just give us feedback of those sessions, after which we'll hear 4 presentations about some thematic issues ranging from sludge management, urine diversion, and sanitation emergencies, and from different parts of the world. And so we'd like to get started now, and we'll ask the SuSanA partners that are listed to give us 3-minute feedback. Please keep it to 3 minutes of how their sessions went, just to inform others about what happened. Thanks. We'll start off with Anna Rosmarin to tell us about the sessions that SEI convened at the World Water Week. Thanks.
I can do it in less than 3 minutes. Basically, I think this year reuse, because of the topic here, because we're talking about food and security and water, the terms reuse were much more common. And in fact, the session in this room yesterday was all about sanitation sources leading their way back into soil systems. And they were everything from a urine diversion project to even a sewage treatment plant with high-tech returning of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and sulfur. So I'm just saying that we had a very positive experience, and the word ecological sanitation is not a dirty word anymore. I don't think it ever will be. But about 10 years ago, it certainly was. So we basically were thrown out of meetings by various people. So things are extremely good, and I think we're mainstreaming it. That's my impression.
Thank you, Arno. Next, we'll hear from Robert Gensch. How do I pronounce your surname? Gensch, yes, from GTO. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, we had a session or a seminar yesterday, which is called No Food and Nutrition Security Without WASH, without Water Sanitation Hygiene, which was pretty well attended, and it was convened by us, the German WASH Network, and WSP, together with a number of co-conveners. And it was mainly about the link between WASH and nutrition security, and that we felt this is a professional blind spot somehow, and that there is a need to actually discuss that we have to make more efficient use of the food that's available, and that we do not lose it to diarrhea, warm infections, or a number of other diseases. Like also environmental enteropathy, and that it also has an influence on stunting, on malnutrition, and yeah. Within this seminar, we also highlighted a number of approaches for scaling up, particularly sanitation, that then have a considerable impact also on nutrition, and that it's not enough to just focus on just food programs to tackle this issue of malnutrition and undernutrition and stunting, but that WASH plays a vital role within all this. At the end, yeah, we felt that there's a branding needed somehow for this link between WASH and nutrition. And one of the ideas that came up was growing tall with toilets could be a good one. And yeah, we're planning to document the entire session and maybe prepare a little film on how the entire seminar went, and make it available definitely also via the SuSanA platform. And there was also an idea that we can maybe discuss within the next 2 days to also maybe create another working group within the Sustainable Sanitation Alliance, which also focuses on this link between sanitation and nutrition. So anyone who's interested to probably join this group is most welcome. Okay, that's mainly it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just make a remark? I can't resist. I like that growing tall with toilets, and I think Linus and you've had a lot of toilets in your or very healthy upbringing anyway.
Thanks. I'm listed as third, but I think I'll go last on the updates. Can we get an update from Linus Degerskog from SEI, please?
That's some big toilets in my life. Yeah, to me, I mean, it was a great theme of this year, water and food security, and I think this week has been about from field to fork and also from fork to field. And yesterday I was involved in that nutrition session that Robert was mentioning. So it's not only from fork to field to fork and fork to field, but also from fork to body and what happens to the food we eat. And the food we don't absorb is pooed out, and the food we absorb and use in our body, in the end we pee it out. So in the end it all goes out and we have to do something with it. And that's what I was talking about in a couple of sessions together with Dr. Bonzi, who was supposed to give some feedback too, but he's not here now. So Dr. Bonzi has been working in Burkina with reuse in rural areas, emphasizing the fertilizer, actually promoting human urine and human feces, treated human urine and feces as fertilizers, to drag on the interest for sanitation that actually can produce these fertilizers. So the methodology is used there is, I think, is innovative and is very agriculture based and very appropriate for rural areas. And I talked also about possible gender indicators when we are including this reuse component, because in Africa, AMCO has a gender strategy and they want to operationalize it, they want indicators for gender in wash. But that's toilets and water, and they're not thinking about reuse. But if we're also reusing, there is gender aspects. Who will do the extra work? Who will get the extra benefits? Will these toilets be adapted to all needs? And I think that's worth highlighting as well. And then the word urban, the urban setting, getting nutrients back to productive land from urban areas, and it's all about business, it seems like. The IMI research program, the Dutch nutrient platform had a quite large part of a session where they're trying really to make resource out of this waste to recover costs because of too much nutrients in Holland. And I'll end there.
Thanks. Thank you. CAPNET also convened a session at the World Water Weekend. Our session was on capacity development in agriculture and IWRM. The whole idea that we had is that we're trying to develop a capacity development program that targets the agricultural sector to include integrated water resources management approaches. So we convened this seminar to invite people and to hear the multiple perspectives that exist out there about experiences of improving agricultural water management on one end, but also on the other to get water resources managers to actually influence agricultural water management a little bit more. The topics discussed there ranged from multiple use of water, of agricultural water, because when we say 70% water is used in agriculture, we actually forget that that water is used for other things as well. So it's not just 70% of agriculture. It has other values beyond that. And so we also discussed things to do with institutional appropriateness. For example, if you're in Sri Lanka, there's a big basin that is actually managed by an agricultural development authority. So if you're a user of water and also a regulator of water, how is it possible that you can regulate yourself? So it was a lot of things, but interesting perhaps for sanitation is that we discussed the optimization of using water and nutrients as well. So in a training material that we're going to develop, a lot of there's going to be a chapter that focuses specifically on optimizing nutrients and water, because in some semi-arid parts of the world, you may find that what is limiting is we may focus on water as a limiting factor, but in many cases the limitation is actually on nutrients. And so that was pretty much that. And then after that, we had a meeting to actually try and develop a training material about this. For any people that have an interest in this, we are open to partnership in this program. And yes, I will leave it there. Thanks.